I'm back today with another video, and today you guys, I'm so freaking excited because we are learning about something that is probably my favorite thing in the entire freaking world. Amusement parks. I love amusement parks, okay? I love the food, I love the snacks, I love the cotton candy, I love the roller coasters. It's honestly just such a happy place for me, and I'm sure for a lot of you guys as well, so I'm so excited to talk about this today. We're specifically going to be talking about Disneyland. Now, I myself have never been to Disneyland. If you have, please let me know. You know, Disneyland is a happy place for a lot of people. I feel like Disneyland definitely has a cult following. Like, people love going there. People love all things Disney. Disneyland is just such a beautiful, happy place, is it not? Well, actually, Disneyland is not always a happy place, and today we're going to be talking about why it is not. Today we're going to be talking about the dark side of Disneyland and some of the things that have happened in the park. To be honest, when I was preparing for this video, I saw so much information that I could share with you guys. There is so much to talk about and so much to say about this park. I chose 4 things to touch on, 4 different videos that we're gonna look at that definitely changed how I view the park and might change how you view the park. Obviously, before we get started, I'm taking attendance, so I want to hear right now in the comments below that you are here, you're paying attention, and also if you ever have been to Disneyland, tell me what your favorite ride is. I've never been and I want to learn more about it because I feel like all the research that I did for this video kind of made me scared of Disneyland. The park has a lot of rumors, a lot of dark history tied to it. The park has experienced a lot of deaths, a lot of very creepy things, a lot of paranormal activity. It's honestly kind of become notorious for the dark side of it. But why do we go to amusement parks? Why do we go to places like Disneyland or Canada's Wonderland or Universal Studios? We go to escape reality. We want to go to a place where we're completely removed from the outside world and just be happy and have fun and enjoy ourselves. But what happens when the place that you go to escape reality becomes a scary place? A lot of things shift and a lot of things change, and I'm really excited to get into everything in this video. So without further ado, let's get started. So as you guys know, Disneyland is full of characters in costumes walking around. You know, there's Minnie Mouse, there's Mickey Mouse, there's Pluto, there's all the crazy characters that you can imagine. It obviously comes to no surprise to any of you, I'm sure, that these are people dressed up in costumes there to entertain the audience and the guests and just keep everything within the Disney universe, which I think is amazing and awesome. But what I think often happens is people forget that these people are actual people in costumes. They're not characters, they're people doing their job, and sometimes they might be having a bad day. In the video that I'm about to show you, a kid is seen running away from one character in specific. This character is Pluto, a very loved character by many. I know Pluto, I'm sure you guys know Pluto. So the video starts off almost innocent at first. It looks like maybe Pluto is just jokingly chasing the kid around, but then it becomes very sinister, to the point where Pluto is chasing this kid so much that adults start getting involved and everyone in the park is literally just staring at what is happening. So let's watch. Okay, see, that lady said you better stop. And now he's on the floor. What? Okay, so quite a bit actually took place in this video, whether you guys noticed or not, so I'm gonna dissect it for you and explain so that you can understand. Sources actually state that the kid was being chased by Pluto because he walked up to Pluto and actually kicked him really hard, and the character, or I'm assuming the employee, got really upset, lost it, and started chasing the kid. I have 2 questions here. First of all, why is he chasing the kid? And second of all, what would he do if he caught the kid? Like, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna, fight with the kid. What are you gonna do to the kid? What are you trying to prove? I understand that it's not okay for the kid to kick him, but like, kids do silly things sometimes, and when you work in a park where there's gonna be primarily children, I feel like you're supposed to get used to that kind of thing. Not to say I wouldn't be pissed if that happened to me. I totally would, but I feel like chasing the kid is a little extreme, which makes me think that this definitely is a little creepier than it looks. at first glance. Why is an adult chasing a child? If you think about a random stranger chasing your kid on the street, you would be extremely concerned, right? But just because this guy is in costume at Disneyland, it's okay. I don't know, it doesn't really sit well with me. You guys tell me what you think. Sources also state that Pluto was escorted by security, and I think that that was obviously for the safety of everyone in the park, the kid especially. You can see when Pluto falls to the ground that he sort of gets back into character and snaps out of whatever was taking over him to chase this child. I think the reason he did that was because a lot of people were starting to look in the direction of what was going on, and he didn't want to get fired or get in trouble. I don't know. I don't know why this video is creepy to me, but it definitely is. An adult chasing a child like that doesn't sit right with me, but I do think that we can definitely learn a lot from this. Guys, these people are just doing their jobs, okay? So let's be kind to them. Let's not kick them. You wouldn't kick your server at a restaurant. I mean, at least I hope you wouldn't. So please understand that these people are just doing their jobs, and let's not be mean to them. Let's be kind to them. They're there to make our days a little better and a little brighter, and I think we owe it to them to at least give them and show them some kindness. But also, on another note, you should be kind to people because you never know who you are going to piss off. We don't know who is underneath that mask. If you're not going to be kind to people just to be kind to them, at least be kind to them to protect yourself, because again, you never know who you're going to piss off, and you never know if whatever you do is going to be their last straw and they're just going to snap and do some crazy stuff, okay? Alright guys, the second video that we're going to react to is definitely a little darker, so I'm going to give you a warning here. This is very scary, and it's actually based on a true story. Again, I could go into so much more detail about this story, but I'm going to avoid doing so just to, you know, not scare you guys too much. And also, again, there's so much about this place that could be talked about, and if I talked about every little detail, we would be here for hours. So in the 70s, Disneyland opened a little ride, a new ride for the park, and it was called America Sings. This ride was supposed to be one of the first animatronic rides, and back then it was a very new technology. It was definitely really cool at the time, really new technology. I would be so impressed. It's literally like characters moving around and talking, and they're like robots. So this ride opened, right? And the whole concept of the ride was that it was on a moving stage. So the stage and the walls of the stage within the big room where the ride was would be rotating and moving. On July 8th, 1974, it was just another day at work for 18-year-old Deborah Stone. She was a hostess that actually worked at this ride and would bring audiences in and out of the ride whenever the ride would restart. Again, I don't want to go into too much detail because this is an extremely devastating story, but Deborah actually ended up getting caught in one of the moving mechanical parts in the ride and suffered fatal injuries and did actually pass away, which is extremely devastating and horrible. I feel for her. I feel for her family. So the ride closed for a few days because it was obviously a devastating thing that happened, and when it opened back up, people noticed that things were a little different. Many people said that they could feel a presence in the room, and actually on one occasion something so scary happened that if I was there and I knew the story of what had happened to this girl, I do not know in which direction I would run, but I know that I would run as fast as possible from this ride and this park and never come back. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, don't be too scared because this video is just of the ride. It's nothing too crazy, but there is an aspect to it that is extremely scary if you know what happened. So let's watch. Alright guys, that just really terrifies me. So as you can see in the video, the show is going on, lights fade out, and there is an absolute absolute horrific scream that just fills the entire room, and people just assume that it's a part of the show, but it's actually not. No one really knows what it is. No one really knows where it came from, but obviously if you connect the dots, many people think that it might be the spirit of this woman who unfortunately went through something horrible in this ride. Other people do claim that the video is fake and it's not real and the scream is just edited in, so that could be the case as well. But I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from when I say this is absolutely terrifying to me. I will say, obviously, after that incident happened, they fixed the ride and they made it safe for everyone. Alright, moving on to something a little less devastating, hopefully. So what happened was guests of Disneyland were just walking about after a fireworks show and noticed that there was a big black ring of smoke floating about in the sky. It was this perfect circle, as you're about to see in the video, that was just moving on top of them. A lot of people thought that it was a UFO or it had to do with aliens or something supernatural. So let's watch the video and see what you guys think. Do you see how perfect that circle is? So again, this is a very quick video, not a lot of footage, but a lot of people actually did catch it on camera, so I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like. Now, a lot of people had a lot of theories as to what this might have been. Many say that it's a UFO or some sort of supernatural thing. Others say that it's actually smoke from the fireworks. They're saying that when the fireworks finished, obviously it's fire, there's a lot of smoke, and that smoke sort of floated up and happened to create this circle in the sky. I don't know how many people believe that that is true just because it is such a perfect circle at the beginning, but it is obviously smoke. I mean, I would not say that it's like a UFO because you can see the smoke sort of move and then dissipate into the sky. Disney hasn't really said anything about this. It was a big thing for a certain amount of time and they hadn't really debunked it. They hadn't said what it was, and I feel like if I were Disneyland, I would make it clear that it wasn't anything scary. One thing I noticed to be a pattern of this park is whenever there's rumors or something negative being said about it, they don't really say anything. They don't defend themselves. So many people say that the park is haunted, that there's ghosts all over the park, and they never deny it. A lot of employees have actually confirmed that the park after hours is truly a scary place filled with spirits and ghosts, which, like, if I owned a business and wanted it to be successful, I don't know that I would want people to think that the place is possessed. So I feel like they wouldn't be lying about it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they are telling the truth, and that place truly does have a dark side. UFO or not, still creepy. The whole place is just bad vibes. Very creepy, bad vibes in my opinion. Alright guys, the last video we're going to watch today is of a fireworks show. So a guy was at Disney and he was watching the fireworks and he was like, I really want to get a beautiful, beautiful clip of these fireworks up in the sky. So he pulled out his little camera and started recording and thought nothing of it until he watched it later and saw that there was a spirit or a ghost or some sort of figure standing on top of the castle watching the fireworks. So let's watch it and let's see if you guys notice exactly what I'm talking about. So the fireworks are going, it's very beautiful, and that is the castle in front. Now, I hope you guys see that person standing right on top of the castle. It's like almost a transparent figure. It's still there. And then it just disappears. So a lot of people are freaked out by this because, first of all, the figure looks humongous. Okay, this castle is a big castle and the person or figure standing on top of the castle looks very big in comparison to the castle. Like, it looks like this figure is probably like 7, 8, 9 feet tall, and it's sort of just looking at the fireworks and then slowly disappears when the fireworks are over. Now, when this video was initially posted, many people believed that this figure or spirit was actually the ghost of Walt Disney, and he was just there wanting to enjoy the show of his own park and sort of just revel in the beauty of what he created, which I think is honestly really sweet and thoughtful and beautiful, but I don't know if that's really the case. A lot of people say that Walt Disney still haunts Disneyland and is often seen around the park. I don't know if this specific spirit is him or not. Either way, it's still unsettling because it's a freaking ghost. Now, as the video was on the internet and time went by, employees of Disneyland actually started to see the video and said that that is actually not a ghost. They claim that what they do during fireworks shows is they get employees to dress up in specific camo clothing that is supposed to blend with the night sky. And what they do is they stand on the castle and just make sure that everything is going smoothly and everything is safe. And they say that during the fireworks, because there's so much light, you can see the person, and then as the light sort of starts dimming down into blackness, their clothes that are meant to blend with the night sky start blending, and it looks like the person is disappearing, when in reality it's just the clothes doing what they're supposed to do. They say that the reason they dress up like this is obviously to not be distracting to the audience while they're watching the fireworks show, which makes a lot of sense to me. Actually, so many people and so many employees said this that I feel like this video is debunked. It's definitely creepy nonetheless, and I don't really know how the person just disappears, because like, yeah, they're wearing the clothes, but what about their face? What about their arms? What about the parts of their body that are uncovered? Wouldn't you be able to see those because they're not gonna blend in with the night? I don't really know. It still doesn't make like full sense to me, but I feel like I should trust the people that work there and say that yes, this is actually something they intentionally do. Anyway guys, Disneyland is definitely a very weird place, definitely a scary place. I know it's supposed to be a place of fun and enjoyment and beautiful, wonderful, happy things, but obviously there are certain things about the park that are dark, that are scary, that are unexplainable to an extent that honestly makes me question if I ever want to go there. If you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know, give it a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe. Class is now dismissed, you guys can go have your fun. I honestly really do recommend researching more about the park, so if you have any free time, go on YouTube, search up Disneyland theories and things that happen at Disneyland. It's honestly so much information, your head is gonna explode, but it's really interesting. It's so fascinating to see how such a happy place can have such a dark history behind it. So go educate yourselves. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!